Hello there, people. My name is Amanamaz, and today I am giving my thoughts on Loki, the first season. Well, I mean, it's the only season so far, anyway. This is a spoiler review, by the way, so come back again when you finish the show. But briefly, it is a good show. I definitely recommend it. So, yeah, let's just jump into it. Like that, it's been stolen, that let's just jump into it. Anyway, please like and subscribe, by the way. That'll be very much appreciated. So, so, the show starts off with the Loki that escapes an Avengers Endgame. Spoiler alert, obviously, where he is brought in by the TVA, the Time Variance Agency, or Authority. It's Authority, but I keep thinking it's Agency for some reason. Where they have to monitor the timeline to prevent any multiverses being born, so they can prevent any multiversal or multi-universal war. Loki has to work with them, otherwise he gets erased from his timeline, and obviously Loki doesn't want that. So he works with the TVA to stop a variant that they're after. But it turns out the variant that they're after is a Loki variant. And that Loki variant is Lady Loki or Enchantress, or like an amalgamation of the two. She is called Sylvie and she refuses to go under the Loki name or moniker. Moniker? Yeah, that's the right word. While they're hunting her, the TVA is more shady than is led on, or lead on? Led on? Anyway, you get the point. So the three of them try to uncover it all. Now, after a series of events, I'm not going into too much detail, they uncover that Kang the Conqueror is behind it all. So in the end, they've got a choice to make: either kill this variant of Kang and create the multiverse and free will, but risk, the multiversal universal war to happen, or they take Loki and Sylvie take Kang's place, but who would want to do that? It sounds very boring. The good. Tom Hiddleston, fantastic. He's great as Loki. He just knocks out of the park, and it's great to see him almost. I wouldn't say like have an accelerated redemption arc, but a redemption arc that takes an alternative path. You really get to like this character, and it's not obviously it's not the same as the one we fell in love with All the Dark World and Ragnarok, but still, it just the performance Tom Hiddleston does really gets you sucked, and it sucked. Oh, that's not a good idea. It gets you sucked into the character, you know. Sophia Di Martino as Sylvie or Lady Loki. Again, she is fantastic. Love her. She's brilliant. She brings a very she brings to life a very strong character that doesn't take shit, and really good writing. And for the people that say strong female characters, this is by far, I think, the best female character in the MCU. Maybe? I don't know. There's none off the top of my head. Anyway, there's Owen Wilson as Morbius. What can I say? I love Owen Wilson. He's great. He gets you sucked into, like I said, sucked so many times in this, haven't I? But he gets you really attached to him. Him and his jet ski. Just the way he talks about a jet ski is like, I want him to have that. That and my life is complete. Other good bits of the show are like the Loki variants. It's a shame that we didn't see more of them, but we do see a boastful Loki, President Loki, which is pretty cool, from the Vote Loki comic books, Kid Loki, and Alligator Loki? Loki Gator? I don't know, does that work? Loki Gator. Anyway, but my favourite of them all is the classic Loki, played by Richard E. Grant. My goodness, he is such a good actor, and it felt a bit strange seeing him from the beginning because he's in that classic comic book suit, so it looks really campy, and not gonna lie, his suit looked a bit crap, but he looked like he had a good time playing it, and he just you can tell he had a lot of fun, and it really showed in his performance. I think it was really fun watching him, and the way his backstory played out, very similar to the original Loki from the MCU, and it was nice to see, minor variations between the two. The chemistry between the cast was fantastic, I think. You get invested in them, whether it's Loki and Sylvie, Loki and classic Loki, Loki and Morbius, Loki and the other Loki variants. It's really nice. I don't think that there's any combination of character that's the chemistry isn't great, even with like Morbius and I haven't done my due diligence here. B15 and the main timekeeper person, you'll end up seeing her, the black lady. That's B15, but the other one. So yeah, I think the casting on this show really took this show to another level. I think this is what makes the show, and the Easter eggs on this show is really good. I think like the whole President Loki vote Loki Easter egg was nice, and they got the Thanos copter. It was such a stupid thing in the comics, but they somehow brought it in and made it work. That was a nice touch, I'd say. The show has a good balance between being outlandish, boundary putting, while being more of a traditional comic book show like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It wasn't as outlandish as WandaVision, it wasn't as outlandish as WandaVision, like being a sitcom within a show and parodying the show from the 50s till now. But it did have like its goofy elements, and which actually worked to its favor with being more traditional. I'm not saying being traditional or outlandish is bad like the other two Disney shows, but I do think it does have the right balance between the two. Like if you had to rank it between being more traditional on one scale and outlandish to the other, Loki will be in the middle, WandaVision will be on one side, Falcon and the Winter Soldier will be on the other. So I think, yeah, it does bring a nice balance to it, which I really like, because sometimes WandaVision was off-putting. Not off-putting, but a bit, I don't know, too silly for my liking. I'm not saying it was a bad thing, but if I had to rank the shows, it would be Loki top, then Falcon and the Winter Soldier, then WandaVision. Also, the ending was really good. It felt like it was going to lead somewhere, which we now know is season 2. Whereas I think, like WandaVision, I think the ending was a bit disappointing. Whether you thought it was due to the fan theories being set up and being disappointed, I just thought it was a bit underwhelming to say the least. But the show did have its flaws though. It did feel like filler in episodes, especially in episode 3. But if you binge it, it should be fine. And Loki and Sylvie have like a romance arc, which is a bit weird because they're a different version of themselves. I understand that it's a very Loki thing to do, to fall in love with yourself, but I do find it a bit weird to say the least. But more importantly, there's no Morbius on a jet ski. Mobius on a jet ski is what I want. So yeah, if I don't get that in season 2, I will be fucking pissed. Overall, it's a really good show. Like, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. With respect to the other two, WandaVision will get a 7. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like a 7.5. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to season 2. You should be as well. I hope you enjoyed it, as much as I did anyway. I like how this Loki, or hopefully this Loki, will appear in Doctor Strange 2. That would be pretty cool. I can't wait. It should be again next year, I think. But the next Marvel show, if you count What If, I think it's Hawkeye. If you don't count What If, sorry. I hope you liked this review and, I don't know, tolerated it, to say the least. And I hope you like my opinions on it. So, yeah, please like and subscribe, and peace.